buy a limited edition shirt or hoodie, and we're going to pick a random one in 10 minutes and give them $2,000.
Have we done iPhones yet?
Yep,
oh,
we did one.
Oh, wait. Hey, yeah. Daryl, first, actually, before we do that, we never picked a pinata.
MrBeast will regret this live stream forever, as these live streams might have some serious implications on the MrBeast channel the way that we know it. Or, well, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out that can actually do that. Every time you think it can't get worse, something worse happens. So to categorize things, you have the absolute disaster of the allegations coming out against Ava Chris Tyson. That's going on over there. Then you have the old edgy remarks and jokes that MrBeast made in 2017 or 2016 going all the way up until maybe 2018 that have been resurfacing online now. Then finally, you have a YouTube video from an ex-employee titled, "I work for MrBeast. He's a fraud." And that's a 53-minute video, so it really goes over a lot. But a good chunk of that is unnecessary fluff, as it seems like the dude has a bit of a grudge against MrBeast and his team for being fired. But I can't disregard the video because he does highlight some very interesting streams that MrBeast did back in the day. And these streams can lead to some serious consequences, as this trend, it's been around for a long time, but MrBeast is by far the largest creator to have ever done this. And that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, as so many creators have already done a pretty good job at covering the disgusting allegations revolving Ava Chris Tyson. This video, it just goes over a lot. But the first time I saw anything from this guy was a video he made outside of MrBeast's offices.
I'm outside MrBeast's studio right now. Here's a cornfield. I'll explain that tomorrow. I've just been driving by looking to see, you know, is there an FBI raid going on? What's happening? My name's Dawson. I worked at MrBeast from February to May of this year, 2024. Chris is the tip of the iceberg. And when Jake the Viking says, MrBeast knew, yeah, MrBeast knew. I heard many times that Ava Chris Tyson is a major liability, but they can't get rid of her because she's already threatened legal action and she knows too much. And when all this information comes out about everything that she knew, everything other people know, I promise you on everything MrBeast has done. Amazon, if you can get your money back, get your money back.
So here he shows some sort of NDA and claimed that he worked for MrBeast for a couple months this year and believes that Chris is essentially just the tip of the iceberg here. So he then goes on to drop that 53-minute video, which comes across as a personal vendetta video, as he brings up a bunch of stuff that just really is completely irrelevant. But again, there are a few things that he brought up to light, which is definitely extremely interesting. If you want to boil down the video into some main parts, you have MrBeast alleging faking videos for better retention. Then he has this whole segment about Airac's old editor Mac now working for MrBeast. Then you have the two largest allegations in the video are essentially rigged results in videos with money prizes and illegal lotteries. And the last third of the video covers Feastables and how it's marketed. So starting off with the introduction of the video, it is beyond weird. This video is the opposite of saying, "Ah, he had me in the first half," because he lost me in the intro. If it wasn't my job to see what was up, I wouldn't have stuck around. Because let's be real, if you want to take allegations from someone seriously, you don't want them to be delivered like this.
Hi, I wanted to provide some context to this video. I'm a former MrBeast employee, and today I am alleging that the company rigged videos and did illegal lotteries and sold fake signatures. I would consider that fraud. Okay, thank you. Enjoy the video.
He definitely comes across as unstable here because, again, who in their right mind would present anything like this? But we're going to go through the main categories of this video, as, again, I feel like there's a lot that shouldn't be in this video and or is questionable, but then you have some very interesting finds and allegations, which I believe are massive mistakes from the MrBeast camp. Starting off, the first thing he talks about here is MrBeast's strategy of giving away money to subscribers.
Now, MrBeast intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds for profit using 3 simple steps, which closely align with the 3 major types of behavioral learning. Step 1 is getting the viewer to associate the brand with trust and authority. MrBeast videos are real, and he's a great guy that gives away big rewards to his loyal followers. I will show you irrefutable evidence in a minute that his videos are in fact fake.
Okay, does he have proof he's not giving away money to his followers?
Step 2 is showing the viewers that when people interact with MrBeast in a way that benefits MrBeast, when they do what he tells them to do, they win big rewards.
If you subscribe, you all subscribe. Get your money. Have a good day.
Some of them feel like I just walk around with $1,000. It's like, oh, thanks for watching my videos.
Hit that subscribe button because you might bump into me in real life and it might make you a lot of money.
When people are devout followers of MrBeast, they get rewarded. And step 3 is finally calling on the viewer to act in some way that benefits the brand, promising big rewards in return. Now it's your turn to do what MrBeast tells you, and you will win big rewards. But you actually won't unless you're famous or friends or family of a MrBeast employee. So young, impressionable viewers are made to believe that MrBeast is a trusted authority who can give them big rewards. These young viewers are explicitly shown that dedicated followers or random subscribers like themselves are winning big rewards when they do what MrBeast tells them. These young viewers are explicitly told repeatedly that if they subscribe, if they buy products or act in some way that benefits the brand, they will win big rewards.
Well, random followers are winning rewards, but there's like 300 million of them. So obviously, very few actually win anything in the grand scheme of things.
If you subscribe and you could win 10 subscribe button, and you could also win. Seriously, we always fly subscribers down. They never fly random subscribers down.
That's a reckless statement. And he doesn't have any proof here. I don't believe that he's never flown a subscriber out. You would think his accounting team could easily debunk that.
MrBeast fakes his videos in ways that are worse than you realize. I say that because he's been exposed for faking videos before, and the common response is, why does it matter if the videos are fake? They're just meant to be entertainment. A large part of MrBeast's brand is the fact that he doesn't fake videos.
I remember when I first started seeing your videos, I was like, this shit's gotta be fake.
Oh yeah, it's a
Dude,
huge problem for us now. I actually have to dial back my content sometimes just so people think it's real. Also, if what we had to film was scripted, you know, because what we do is non-scripted, so you have to plan for a bunch of variables that you can't control, blah, blah. If what we did was scripted, holy shit, this stuff would be easy to pump out.
Have you ever faked a video?
No.
But this train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI.
No way, dude. The obviously fake tire spin is CGI. I am all for calling people out, but don't sit here and just state the obvious. No way, dude. The bus is yellow as well. Is he faking videos or is he exaggerating with CGI effects to make them more interesting? Because I feel like the CGI we see from his content is fairly obvious.
This explosion is fake. This shredder is CGI. This car is digitally lifted. This pit is fake. This guy is fake. This raccoon is a paid actor. Sure, this island costs more than $1. This city is not abandoned. These buildings are CGI. It's not your only way out. You can literally get an Uber to the airport for $20. That's not a lurker. It's just a guy.
It seems like he's trying to do this thing of like, look at all these fake moments. Some could actually be fake moments he's found, while others, they just seem extremely obvious, like the bus wheel spin, or I guess the fake pit. Like there was definitely a real pit there, but they did make it look way deeper with CGI. And I feel like that's pretty obvious in the video itself. And then you have some of his points where he's either guessing or just lying, as it wasn't hard to find that MrBeast did actually buy an island for $1.
This whole room is fake. This contestant is an actor and a secret employee at MrBeast. They had him dive through this fake door twice. This line is scripted. This action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted.
You did it! Yeah! What we did was scripted. Holy shit. This stuff would be easy to pump out.
See, that's a way more interesting allegation than a lot of the other examples he used if the Mac stuff is fake. I feel like he's just diluting his video rather than sticking to all the stuff he covers later on, which is way more heavy hitting. But speaking of Mac, this is completely out of pocket.
Let's talk about Mac for a second.
We will die. Do you understand that?
I found public records showing that Mac moved from California to Greenville, North Carolina, where Jimmy is located, back in August 2023, 2 months before he appeared as a contestant. According to a former MrBeast employee, this is around the time when Mac started working full-time on the editing team at MrBeast. Also, he didn't just move into any old house, he moved into $1 million mansion. Now, I'm not going to dox him, only some asshole would do something like that.
After doxing and bullying the pilot some more like a f***ing douchebag,
Turns to Eric and says, how do I fly this thing? And Eric just starts pushing buttons.
But I did find pictures of this mansion online, so I fed them into ChatGPT and asked it to create similar images. And this is what it came up with. And it's honestly not that far off. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
What are you going to spend the $800,000 on?
I mean, my life's changed now.
Yeah, I'm sure that $800,000 is really going to change your life.
Why is this included in the video? Is he renting a room, living with a friend, or did he buy a $1 million mansion in a small town right as he started a new job? The last one seems like the least likely, especially with today's mortgage rates. But for context, Mac and Eric, they made a massive mistake by doxing a pilot back in a video a few years ago. So I get where he's going with this bit, but it's still out of pocket and doesn't really prove anything. I'm sure if he actually received $800,000, that's life-changing. Big YouTubers, they make good money, but you really have to be in the upper echelon for $800,000 to be nothing for you. I just don't understand why this part is in the video when he had way more relevant and interesting things that he's bringing up later on in this video. So next, he covers the competitions.
Okay, so MrBeast fabricates some contestant dialogue and timers and movements and storylines and uses a bunch of CGI, but who really cares? I mean, the videos are just for entertainment only, right? I mean, it's not like he's ever rigged the results of a challenge. That would be impossible because he films with hundreds of random subscribers, right? Wrong. Let's look at this video. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers.
So many people had jobs.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend. So yeah, the random subscribers you see in challenges are actually never random. They're almost always local to MrBeast, and oftentimes friends and family of MrBeast employees, or just the employees themselves.
Okay, I actually know that guy. That's Josh. He used to be an editor of a friend of mine, Leon Lush, who many of you guys here know. If I remember correctly, Josh actually filled in for a contestant who couldn't make it last minute. I don't know about the others though.
They are never random subscribers. If you subscribe, you will not win $1 million.
It seems like this is kind of the theme in this video. He makes a provable false statement, but then follows it with an interesting point, as MrBeast definitely films videos with subscribers. But this is interesting.
And what's even worse is that the results of this video were completely scripted. According to a former MrBeast employee, it would have been a PR problem if the boys had won by a lot. And because so many of the female contestants were MrBeast employees who got out immediately, production stepped in to actually make the results of the challenge closer. You can actually see some of this happen on camera, like when Jimmy pays one of the boys $10,000 to leave, which is twice as much as the actual prize money, but doesn't make the same offer to the girls.
The boys were blowing you out of the water. I paid the one guy who knew how to solve them to leave. Now if you don't win, that was all for nothing.
At another point, he gives the girls a camera drone so they would have been able to see how many boys were left. It doesn't work out, but seeing how much they're willing to help them on camera, I'm willing to believe that they did, in fact, help them off camera. Apparently at the end, they were only monitoring the boys to see if they stepped on the red line and not the girls, so that the girls would win the challenge. And to be clear, obviously the girls had an unfair start with having so many MrBeast employees get out immediately. I think they all did deserve $5,000 for that, but also the boys should deserve a fair chance at winning, I think. I think that's the expectation when you run a game show.
Yeah, I mean, that's not fair. I'm assuming MrBeast did that to help the other team, so it's a closer race to make it a more interesting video. But by doing so, he's right. The competition isn't fair anymore. And this is where things could become a little bit legal, as apparently TV shows, they're not allowed to do this. But since MrBeast isn't TV, I guess they can do this. And it is a constant theme throughout his videos, as they do mess around with contestants for entertainment purposes of the video. It seems like the end goal is to always make the most engaging video to watch. If you've watched any previous MrBeast videos and are about to compete, I feel like you can assume some sort of tomfoolery will be involved because they're in the business of making entertainment for their viewers. Now, if this could turn into a legal situation or not, that is beyond me because I'm no lawyer.
So knowing that MrBeast likes the results to be close and that offstage producers can sort of influence how a challenge progresses, I want to show one more example. This is a real-time video, meaning that time elapses the same in the video as it does in real life. Now, immediately the intro is sped up, and the timer is clearly added in post, and he clearly touches the laser here, but whatever, let's assume that it's all real time. When he reaches the bottom floor, he has to turn these water valves. Now you can tell that these valves aren't actually connected to anything because the water flows out in an instant, and it happens when he's not even touching the valve. The contestant also goes back to the first valve unaware that anything had happened, and he's still able to spin it. So the valve seems to spin freely and isn't actually connected to the flow of water. So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water. And assuming they've tested this, the producers might know how long it takes for the water to clear out of the room.
That could also be for safety, so nobody drowns on a MrBeast set, as that would be a way worse outcome than this.
So they could sort of decide on the fly how many turns of the valve it takes, or just when to trigger the water in general to make the results close. And in this video, spoiler alert, the contestant wins the money, so rigging the challenge could be seen as a good thing.
Okay, so he's saying the timer was added in post and the valves weren't real. That's not really enough proof for the video to be fake. But again, I don't really understand why he's putting this in the video when the next thing he brings up is by far the largest mistake from the MrBeast team.
The FTC defines a lottery as containing 3 elements: a valuable prize, random chance, and consideration, which can be time or effort, but in most cases is just payment. To successfully run a contest or a sweepstakes, you must eliminate one of these factors. A contest, for example, eliminates chance, and a sweepstakes eliminates consideration. In determining if any MrBeast giveaways have been illegal lotteries, we need to identify a prize, which is distributed through random chance and cannot be won without spending money. On August 2nd, 2020, MrBeast live streamed him and his friends signing limited edition shirts celebrating 40 million subscribers. And here are just some of the clips from that stream.
For those of you who are just joining, if you buy one of our limited edition 40 mil special shirts, we're celebrating 40 million subscribers with a really big video, then we will sign that shirt, and some of them will get random prizes like this. In 10 minutes, right, because we gotta give them time to do their cart, we'll give 2 orders $500 each. 5 minutes, someone's getting $3 grand in their order. In 5 minutes, we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna put $1,000 in a random order. 2 minutes, newest order gets $2,000. Good luck, everybody.
So this was a 6-hour live stream. They took it down off YouTube, but 5 hours of it are still up on their Facebook page. And during those 5 hours, I counted 46 illegal lotteries.
That is not good at all. He shouldn't have done that whatsoever. This might be a very expensive fine.
These lotteries are also run poorly. Multiple times they would say something like, buy in the next 5 minutes for a chance to win. And then 7 minutes later go, actually, the newest order in 30 seconds is going to win.
In 5 minutes, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to put $1,000 in a random order. Hey, Daryl, don't we owe someone $1,000?
We do.
Yeah. So, all right. So the newest order in 30 seconds, we are going to put $1,000 in your package.
Yeah, that is a bad mistake. Also, deleting the YouTube video and now that 5-hour Facebook stream after this video came out, that's not really a good look either. That live stream was definitely a terrible decision. MrBeast should have never done this live stream. I would definitely say this is the damning evidence in this long video.
Stephen K.
Okay.
Oh, Stephen King.
And there is no second giveaway 30 seconds later, like Jimmy said. This is just one very shady giveaway. They just go on to talk about how Steven made a profit.
Steven's a handsome name.
So he actually walked away with stuff.
We're proud of you, Stephen.
I counted 13 of these extra shady lotteries where they did not give the prize in the original time frame that they said.
Announcing someone made a profit in the live stream also is just terrible. That is so bad. That could make people want to buy merch to make money. Like, that's a terrible look. There is no...
Okay, so we're going to put 2 iPhones in this piñata, and we're going to give it to someone who orders a shirt in 3 minutes? 5 minutes. Buy a limited edition shirt or hoodie, and we're going to pick a random one in 10 minutes and give them $2,000.
Have we done iPhones yet?
Yeah. Oh,
we did one.
Oh, wait. Hey, yeah. Daryl, first, actually, before we do that, we never picked a piñata.
So these clearly fit the definition of an illegal lottery. These clips are also not out of context. No one ever said no purchase necessary. There's nothing in the description or on the website. At one point, MrBeast is informed that they ran out of PlayStations, and he says, are we trying to not sell merch?
Our city is sold out of PlayStations. We don't have any. We have to give away. Are we trying to not sell merch?
So he clearly knows that they're making more money by running these illegal lotteries. Another shady thing he did was constantly suggest that they're doing too many giveaways to make a profit.
My guy over there doing the numbers is like, stop, please. It's like, you do realize every time you give away an Xbox and $1,000, you don't make money. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's not good at all. That's a very bad look. Overall, terrible live stream that should have never happened. But unfortunately, he apparently did more of these live streams.
And by the way, the rest of these streams were taken down shortly after upload. So all I have is some old clips and Reddit threads talking about them. And now this stream did say, we are doing a ton of giveaways, no purchase necessary in the description. But to be eligible to win most prizes, you had to make a purchase.
Would you guys prefer... Would you prefer that we throw money in random orders or that we throw items in random orders?
Yeah.
Somebody screamed in chat, I want to switch.
Hey.
Buy a shirt.
In 30 minutes, we are giving away my car to someone that buys merch.
Which each giveaway is its own independent event. You can't give one prize to someone who buys something and a different prize to someone in chat.
This is not good whatsoever, but it's definitely not a new thing. Influencers have been doing this for years, but MrBeast is definitely the largest to do it. The last time I saw creators do this was honestly only a couple weeks ago when C-Boys were giving away an Audi R8.
All right, guys, we're giving away this Audi R8 V10 Plus, 610 horsepower, all-wheel drive. The thing looks absolutely insane, and it's going to one of you guys who purchases anything at our website, cboystv.com. Every $5 that you spend on anything gets you automatically entered to win this thing.
What is interesting is they do have this disclaimer on their website. They just didn't really mention that in the video ads from what I saw. But apparently, you could have mailed a letter to get entries. And I'm assuming there's probably some similar system there for MrBeast giveaways as well. It seems very similar to 8080 and or Omaze. I guess YouTubers just do this to boost merch sales, and I am just really not a fan at all. I can promise you, I will not be promoting Matt City in that way ever. But if you do want a custom toy car mat or a large mouse pad of a city near you, you can go to matt.city, which is in the link in the description down below. And I can assure you, you're only getting the product you buy, not $1 bazillion or an Audi R8. Sorry. Moving on, it keeps getting worse with these live streams.
So when they selected an order to give a prize, it was apparently always a large or extra large t-shirt. They kept saying things like buy in the next 15 minutes for a chance to win and then not honoring it. Multiple people claiming that their name was read to win a prize and they never received it. This person is still tweeting about it to this day. There's a lot more people complaining about the deceptive sales tactics. Reading all this really upsets me because I spent money I honestly didn't have for 5 shirts at different times during the live when they said things like buy now and you will get prize or money. And I received 2 orders and nothing but shirt, both with MB and one with a heart and one with a smiley. I was hoping for at least a couple things for Christmas for my family.
That's depressing. I mean, obviously you can't expect to get something additional to the merch if it's all chance-based, but it does show that using these strategies to sell more merch burns your fans, as her thinking here comes across like a gambler. But I mean, hey, at least she had some merch to give for Christmas.
If the video of this live stream ever resurfaces, I think a lot of these claims will be proven true, which MrBeast definitely has this stream saved. He saves all his footage. So I'll ask you, Jimmy, will you publish this to prove your innocence? Also, using archive.org, we can see what the website looked like on the day of the stream, and while there's no mention of any sweepstakes whatsoever, it does say this limited tee signed by MrBeast and crew, but the description says it's signed by a member of the MrBeast crew, and it doesn't say anywhere that other members will sign MB, deceiving people into believing it was signed by MrBeast. So here's a clip of Tyler using MrBeast's signature. So Tyler signs MB, which is MrBeast's signature. Then he covers it, signs his own initials, TC, smirks, looks around, and then quickly slides the shirt away.
That is terrible. They should have never done that because that just devalued MrBeast's signature. I mean, it would have been way better to have it signed by the guy and not have MB there unless MrBeast actually signed it himself. Sure, some people would be sad they only got a signature from that guy, but at least it would be real. While I guess the MrBeast team could argue and say, it's from the MrBeast company, it's still misleading in my opinion. I really hope they never do live streams in this fashion again.
So in January 2021, 3 months after the last shirt signing stream, MrBeast did a live stream where for only $10, viewers could send a picture to the moon. Wait, JPEGs that are going to the moon? And of course, he did more illegal lotteries.
Just to keep things fun and interesting, as if putting a photo on the moon isn't interesting enough. Someone who puts a photo on the moon, or if you buy the bundle, whatever, and the next 30 minutes, we'll just fly you down to be in a video.
3 years later, the spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures of deceased loved ones to the moon, where they would be immortalized. It fucking exploded.
Unlucky. Well, if that's real, it's definitely not as bad as faking a signature or turning your merch sales into a lottery-like game. Because, hey, at least they tried here.
October 16th, 2021, same thing. Buy this shirt to be in a video.
Shopify dashboard. We just have like a random number generator, and then like we just put the number, like if there's 1,000 orders, we just put it, picks a number between 1 and 1,000, and then my people give me the name. So the first person that we're inviting to be in our Squid Game, if you want to enter, click the link in the description, buy the shirt or hoodie, is Alonzo Diaz.
Bro, this is an actual $100 bill.
Wait, really?
Like, they actually sent a $100 bill.
Wait, what does it say? Oh, now we have to read the message. You and your crew are an inspiration to our young ones. He wanted to send you $100. Everyone click the link or the view product thing in the bottom left. We're gonna open 3 packages, and whatever's in those 3 packages, we're gonna give someone random that buys.
Yeah, this is a massive mistake, and I'm surprised nobody in his team has stopped him from doing this. I would assume after all of this that he wouldn't repeat this mistake, right? Because this is a PR nightmare and it can't be worth the extra merch sales, because this is definitely very damaging to his brand. Just like in the next point where he brings up this iced coffee hour interview with Reed, who used to manage MrBeast, but they've now been separated for a while.
Is there anything you've had to say no to?
Yeah, tons. Yeah, so a good example. So it was about 3 years or 2.5 years ago when I started working with Jimmy. What was becoming really popular were these like mystery loot crate, like internet sites where it's basically like CSGO skins, but you'd go on and be like, here's the Supreme box, and you'd pay $50 for it.
Oh,
remember,
yeah. Didn't Ricegum did
yeah,
quite a few people.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of hate for that.
Right.
Jimmy was, he wanted to work with that company when he heard about it because there was a lot of money and we wanted to give that money away in a video. And I had to talk him back on it. I was like, listen, we're not promoting gambling. I think people are going to see this negatively. So there's a long conversation that him and I had to have, which eventually we passed on the deal.
What manager would throw their client under the bus like that to make himself look good? That just makes himself look terrible as a manager. I don't know if that story is true or not, but it definitely would have been a disaster if MrBeast took a Loot Crate sponsorship. Then Dogpack goes on to talk about Feastables, how they market themselves, and the product itself. But honestly, I don't want this video to be too long, and I feel like that should be its own video in itself. So jumping over that part, his last criticism for MrBeast was revolving around another smaller creator named Man Too Nice. He apparently got the opportunity to spend $1 million of MrBeast's money for himself in a video.
If you actually watch this video, you know, MrBeast does say that they're not going to be irresponsible, that they're going to try to set Mark up for life, and that they are going to help him with investing.
What we're actually going to do is be responsible and try to set Mark up for his future. So we're going to make smart purchases like a house, cars, and do some investing.
But according to Mark, MrBeast only gave him an hour to plan what house to buy, and then gave him only 24 hours to spend the bulk of his money for a video.
Time. I wish I would have had more time, and I wish I would have planned out stuff better. Like, that was the best example I can give you is when we had planned out the house and stuff. I literally had an hour. He had somebody come to my house, and we sat down and we planned all this in an hour.
Well, that is insane. But also getting $1 million to spend on yourself for a video is also insane. I'm sure anyone would take that opportunity, even if you only had an hour.
Yeah, they came to my house and we planned this out in about an hour. So I wish I would have had more time, and I wish I would have did a couple things differently on the time management side, which I guess I really couldn't help because I had to spend it. I had to spend the money and I had to like do all this. So
I'm starting to think he might have been a little bit better off if you didn't make him spend $1 million in 24 hours for content.
Can I just say, I'm super glad you won the $1 million.
All I need from you is a signature right here. Vehicles are yours.
What we're actually going to do is be responsible and try to set Mark up for his future.
You better not read it. You're a millionaire. You ain't got time to read.
Okay, so to add context to this, here's the ending segment of that video titled Spending $1 Million in 24 Hours, where MrBeast addresses this with Mark.
So Mark didn't actually receive all $1 million because he gave Chandler $100,000 and Jeremy $50,000. So what he got is $850,000. So Mark wants to set aside $340,000, basically 40%, just to make sure all his tax liabilities are covered. But now let's talk about Chandler. You spent $16,000 at Best Buy and $44,000 on bills. So you spent you spent 60 grand. Jeremy spent $30,000 and then set aside 20 grand for taxes. So that's another 50,000. So that is exactly where 923,000 of the $1 million went. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible because I know a lot of you won't believe me that I gave away $1 million, but I'm literally showing you right here. We did.
you really did.
You have 77 grand left. I know you talked about wanting to maybe invest 50K and then set aside like the other 23 for just other little nuances here and there. And to be 100% honest, we went into an investing firm and they told us we couldn't record. So you'll have to meet with a financial expert on your own. I really wanted to show you guys where all the money went. I'm going to just close this.
$1 million.
That's where the $1 million went.
Okay, so thankfully they set aside taxes for him and he had an additional $70,000 to invest. I can see why they wanted to set him up with a financial advisor, as obviously they're not one.
Hey, just here from the future. This guy actually came to defend MrBeast in a tweet right here, as you can see. So I'm happy to see that he clarified the situation a bit more.
So from what we covered in this video, the worst evidence was definitely the live streams. But since the video came out, Chucky, who's been a longtime MrBeast employee, came out with a response to this video. I quickly want to debunk some of the info in this video since the guy who made it was on my team. It was my decision to fire him for erratic behavior. He worked at the company for less than a month, interesting, and wasn't an employee for most of the videos he mentioned. mentions to have knowledge on. There's so much in this video, and I want to specifically address him for saying our videos are fake or staged, because this is not true, and I was on set for many of these videos. That's interesting if you actually only work there for a few weeks. You won't get in this video unless you're family or friends with someone that works at MrBeast. This is a wild statement that can easily be proven wrong. There's probably hundreds or thousands of people who have no affiliation to friends, family, or Beast employees. Think of the 456 people in Squid Game, or ages 1 to 100, etc. Jimmy doesn't know more than like a dozen people. The train track was CGI. The bus wheels are CGI. The pit is fake. He's acting like he's exposing us for using CGI to make backgrounds look cool, when we've done multiple public behind the scenes videos with So Crispy showing this. It's clearly not a secret. On top of that, we did drive buses into the pit, and the same with the train that you claim we didn't. The raccoon was a paid actor. I don't even know what to say about this, clearly not an actor. Island cost more than $1. Not true, we did pay $1 for the island. You can Google MrBeast purchases Outer Banks Island for $1, which stated this before the video was released. He moved into a mansion 2 months before being in the video. $1 million mansion. He talks about how 2 months before we filmed the first Mac video that he moved into a mansion. Mac was staying at a friend's house, and I'm not sure how he proves anything or why it's relevant. The wink was added in post, but he really did wink. This is a flat out lie again. I don't see why the wink was even in his video and why Chuck even had to address that. It's just so irrelevant to everything. The revenge storyline was added in post. He implies that 42 and 58 was scripted and not real. The contestants themselves have talked about this on streams they did after the video. They legit didn't like each other. He also claimed 58 was on the far opposite side and didn't hear him. Just because he was on the other side of the room, you don't think 58 heard him yell? How on earth would he know? Not only were the results of the video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers. He claims our 100 boys versus 100 girls video is scripted, and the proof is the random text saying, it is. That's it? It was not scripted. Jimmy probably had countless of people on set for that video, and it would have been impossible to hide. This video was not scripted. I was on set for this, and there was no bias for who won. He also implies the video is fake because we had some employees on each team. The employees in the video were there to fill in for people who tested positive for COVID last minute, right before filming. Thea, Jimmy's girlfriend, mentioned this in a podcast over a year ago. If it wasn't for COVID, they wouldn't have been in it. They had the same dollars on the line as everyone else. Some random text of someone thinking it's rigged doesn't mean it's rigged. Okay, so I feel like the portion where he said I was on set for this and there was no bias for who won, I feel like that's a little bit off, because clearly Jimmy helped out the female team a lot. So there was definitely a bias there, but the bias could just be to keep the race as close as possible to have a more entertaining video. So no matter how you look at it, the competition was definitely less fair for the men. He also suggested the real-time video was fake. This is not fake. It was a nightmare to make this video, and it was legit filmed in 10 minutes. Also, I think some of the MrBeast giveaways are fake. We do not fake giveaways. I've been hands-on with some of them and have personally been the person to connect winners with our accounting department to get paid. He also suggested we didn't spend $1 million on Samsung phones, and I can assure you we did. Another lie from me. I can keep going, but I don't want this to be too long. Dawson himself said on Reddit that he was on shrooms and weed when filming this video, which might explain some of the made-up stuff. Dawson was also employed from March 25th, 2024, and was let go on April 19th, 2024. He was on a 90-day trial, and we ended it early and paid him out until June 25th, as we guaranteed the 90 days of pay so he can transition into a new job. Okay, that's an honorable thing for them to do, at least. I'd appreciate if everyone reading this could help dispel all this fake rumors by spreading this information. Jimmy spends unfathomable amounts of money and time to ensure the integrity of what he does, and I hate to see it come to question with a bunch of lies. Dawson, if you leave this up, you're a hypocrite. I feel like it's safe to say that Dawson might go down as one of the worst YouTuber hires ever. But also, I don't like how Chucky just doesn't mention the live streams here, because that was the key part of the video. That's, I guess, also the downside of the video being 53 minutes and having a bunch of like random stuff that could easily be debunked. I don't know if they're ever going to address the live streams, but hopefully they never repeat that. But Dawson or Dogpack did go on to respond to this tweet by saying, debunking your debunking. Good character assassination attempt. You leave out my unpaid trial period and also my time working for Idea Guys, a company for which MrBeast is a client. The founder of Idea Guys also had to get permission from MrBeast to hire me. So weird you guys wouldn't tell him I was erratic. Probably because they wanted to help you get a new job. Also, weed and shrooms was an obvious joke. Why would you say that? As if... Bro, Jimmy doesn't know more than a dozen people. You expect people to believe this. How many people do his employees know? Who is the contestant in the Train versus Pit? How about Lambo versus Shredder? How did Ava's cousin Justin get into the Chocolate Factory video? Or Della Vlogs? CGI is clearly not a secret. Cool, so when Jimmy was accused of doing too much CGI in Train versus Pit, why did he deny it on Twitter? The raccoon was a paid actor. Why are they addressing the raccoon? Bruh, did you expect people to believe Chris and Chandler were just petting an actual wild raccoon? Who cares about a raccoon? Why is a raccoon important in this? From your own source on the island, the transfer tax was $1, and the company also paid $27 in tax and fees for the property. Okay, so he still bought the island for $1. He just had to pay taxes on it. That's a, excuse me, you paid $28 for the $1 island. He paid $1 for it, and he paid some taxes on it. Everyone has to pay tax when you buy property. Like, this is just so not important compared to, like, the streams is what is like the meat and potatoes of this video. Who cares about a raccoon? Who cares about the $1 island? The wink was added in post. Why is this important? It was. Compare it to the wink in the contestants' other winks and other scenes, or none of his TikToks. His mouth is always partially open. Here, that does not happen because in the original footage, it was a blink, altered to match the false revenge narrative. Interesting how you didn't mention altering the timers on the contestant dialogue in post. Not only were there results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers. You acknowledge that the contestants were not random subscribers, but refuse to acknowledge the clear rigging, which can be seen in multiple times on camera. Please watch Upper Echelon's video analyzing case law regarding this rigging. Also, I've now heard from the boys on the team that they were fed much later than the girls, and that production was clearly favoring the boys. Okay, so production was favoring the boys, but in the video it seemed like they were favoring the girls. I don't know, maybe that balanced it out. Upper Echelon's video also goes into the alleged illegal lotteries, which he describes as seemingly completely indefensible. You conveniently forgot to address those as well. It's the live streams that are the bad part from this, and hopefully they never repeat that. But overall, I mean, like, just this response, it just comes across that Dogpack has a serious grudge against MrBeast and his team. Because let's be real, Dogpack didn't have to respond to that in that manner. He could have made a separate video, which he probably still is going to do. I don't think this is going to affect the long term of the MrBeast company in other ways than worst case, some fines, because currently there's nobody that can really compete with the style of videos he's making, because he has the talent, he has the scale, and he has the funds to do so. I mean, they're just a Goliath. And I really hope they never do this like lottery style live streams ever again. And I also hope that other creators learn from this and stop as well. But other than that, subscribe if you enjoyed my attempt of being as neutral and reasonable as possible with this video, as I see a lot of people are bandwagoning on either side here. And if you want another way to support my channel, feel free to check out matt.city, where we've taken inspiration from the nostalgic toy car mats and brought them to a city near you. And we've also done this with mouse pads, and we'll be dropping some more cities and designs now shortly. But other than that, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.